Let's start. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Amar, and I'm associated with UniNets since 4 years now. I have, hands-on experience on Palo Alto Firewall, Checkpoint Firewall. Apart from firewall, I have experience on other technology as well, such as load balancer, cloud, proxy. So overall, I have 15 plus of year of experience, and I'm working professional as well. If I talk about in this course, so I'm just going to cover PCNSA and PCNSE both on this. Okay, and the training would be more industry-based training. Okay, more hands-on on real life problem. So in Palo Alto, we have different types of certification. The first certification we have PCCSA, then PCNSA and PCNSE. Okay, so these are the steps to go ahead with the Palo Alto training. What is Palo Alto? Why we should use Palo Alto? What are the benefits of the Palo Alto firewall? Then other firewall. That's we are going to do here. So let me just go with brief about course content. So we have divided content in the module wise. In first module, we are going to cover platform and architecture. Then we will go for second module where we will do initial configuration. Third module, we are going to see the interface configuration. So in Palo Alto, we have different types of interfaces. So all 5 types of interfaces we are going to discuss over here. Further, we have module 4, where we can go and check the security and netting policy. And module 5, we will discuss about the app ID, and I would show you how you can create your custom app ID as well. Okay. So we are going to discuss here native app ID, which is from Palo Alto, and then we will discuss the custom app ID as well. And in module 6, we are going to discuss antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability, URL filtering with app ID, how you can apply all these features. And then in 7th module, we are going to see file blocking, how you can block the file. And we will also discuss wildfire. So this is one of the sandboxing feature of the Palo Alto firewall. So what is the sandboxer basically? This is used to prevent against zero-day attack. So it records the behavior of particular file. Okay, so let's say you are downloading any particular file, and against that particular file, Palo Alto do not have the signature. So Palo Alto send that file to the wildfire. This is cloud-based sandboxing feature. So in the wildfire, what happened? The file get extracted and behavior of the file gets noted there. And as per behavior, if the file is clean, okay, file is not doing any malicious activity, so Palo Alto consider that file is clean. So that's one of the sandboxing feature that we are going to learn, that how sandboxing works and how you can forward the file to the wildfire. In module 8, we are going to discuss decryption. So here we will do SSL decryption process. So especially if you see the URLs, okay, HTTPS types of URL we have. So basically for those URLs, if you just want to have the content filtering, we will go with the SSL decryption process. So how you can decrypt incoming traffic and how you can decrypt outgoing traffic, both we are going to discuss there. And then in module 9, we are going to talk about user ID. Here we will see that how you can enable the authentication for user and how you can map user with the IP addresses as well. Module 10, we are going to discuss VPN. Module 11, we are going to talk about the management and reporting. So what is the dashboard, how you can generate the report. So let's say your management asks, they just want 1 week data in weekly report, that what are the malicious activity happen. So on that cases, you can use the management and reporting function there, and you can generate the report. Last but not least, here we are talking about high availability. Active and active passive, both we will configure. So let's talk about lab access, how you would get lab access. So lab access, in this lab, you can see there are different types of lab. However, for you, we are just going to assign Palo Alto Lab. So we have different labs, and here you can open the lab which is assigned for you. So for example of that, how you can open the lab. This is our lab. In this lab, these are the devices we have. Okay, so this device we use as a primary, and other device we will use as a secondary. And all the routing we will do via this switch. So this is the central switch where we will create a VLAN and to segregate the routing, and we will send the traffic via firewall. So for example, in the lab, if you just want to send the traffic from here to here, okay, from this node to router 2. So our traffic would go to the switch. On switch we have a VLAN. Then after that it would go to the firewall, and from firewall through the other interface, this will reach to the external system. So these are the lab devices. If you just want to access these lab devices to configure them, this is pretty simple. Okay, you can just right click on the firewall and just turn on the device. Any device which you just want to open, just right click and turn on. So as soon as you turn on, when you want to see the console access of that particular device, you just click on that and it is going to open on the separate window or separate browser tab, and here it is showing you console. So physically you don't need to connect any console cable, you just need to click here on the firewall itself and you would be able to see the console of the particular device. Not only firewall, you can access the console of other device as well by right clicking on this, by clicking on that. So it's a pretty simple to access the lab and to perform all the labs. It's very simple. Okay. So moving ahead regarding a Palo Alto, why we should use a Palo Alto firewall in our network. And if you see in the most of the network, Palo Alto is being used nowadays. Why Palo Alto is being used nowadays? Because it's a market leader. It's market leader just because of its feature. A lot of feature it has. Okay, and it's the next generation firewall. So if I talk about the firewall, next generation firewall, so any next generation firewall would be providing, a firewall capability, URL filtering capabilities, IDS, IPS, inside that antivirus capabilities, and it would be able to inspect the traffic from layer 2 to layer 7. So all those features is provided by the next generation firewall. Okay, if I talk about firewall management, so in Palo Alto, you can do the firewall management individually. So if you have single unit of firewall, you can manage it via UI or CLI console. And if you have multiple firewall in different data center or different location, that you can manage from single location only. Okay, so for that, we have the central management device, which is Panorama. Okay, so you can manage the Palo Alto firewall either as a single unit, or you can integrate the firewall into the Panorama and then you can manage. In Palo Alto firewall, Palo Alto firewall is really very fast in terms of the packet processing, just because of it has the single pass parallel processing architecture. So we are going to discuss next what is single pass parallel processing, but this is one of the great feature that Palo Alto have, and just because of this particular feature, Palo Alto firewall is really very fast. Palo Alto uses dedicated CPU for management and data plane. So hopefully you are aware about the management and data plane. If not, then management plane is used to access the firewall and to configure the policy, and actually processing done by the data plane. Packet filtering or packet inspection would be done by the data plane. So Palo Alto use, separate CPU and memory for management and separate CPU and memory for data plane. So in terms of if the data plane is overutilized and if you just want to access your firewall, you would be able to access. Okay, because management plane would be free. Same way, if there is a problem on the management plane, okay, your data plane would not be affected just because of this segregation. And the Palo Alto firewall you can use on premises. Okay, that means in on premises data center, and you can use on the public data center as well. I mean, sorry, cloud-based data center. Okay, so if you have cloud-based DC on the Azure or AWS or Google, So you can use Palo Alto Firewall there as well. Palo Alto Firewall also supports central log collection. That means it can send the entire log to the centralized device. So if you just want to integrate with any of SIEM tool, so you can integrate Palo Alto Firewall to the SIEM tool, such as Splunk, okay, or you can send the entire logs to Panorama itself.